Welcome back to Dale's DIY channel. Today we're going to be taking apart the front end on a 93 Ford Ranger pickup, and got the frame stripped down. We're going to take the front end completely apart, put in new ball joints, new bushings, new front springs, and get things grossly lined back up. We're going to be showing you a couple of ins and outs of this, and putting some packing the bearings, putting some new rotors on. So just kind of general how to do the front end on this 93 Ranger, which applies to a lot of different vehicles. This is still old enough where you have to pack the bearings, and it's not the newer style where they have the roller bearings that are sealed. And when we're done here, we'll sandblast it and prime it and paint it, and then we're going to start getting ready to put the engine in and the cab on. So it's all a process, and part of it's just having time to work on it. So as I get ready to show you stuff here, remember to like, subscribe, send this out to your friends. Hopefully they can get going on their own projects. So what we'll start with here is what we call the dust cap. And now behind the dust cap, we'll take this off with a pair of water pump pliers. So we'll get those on here and get this thing loosened up. Don't know how tough it's going to be, because this thing, I have no idea what the history behind this thing is. I picked it up used, so I'm going to have to hit it with a hammer and see if we can get her going. I may have to get a punch. There we go. Kind of hit it with a knock action towards you. I don't have to worry about much because I'm putting a new rotor on it. Get that rust broken loose, and then we can wiggle it with the pliers here. But old stuff, that's the way it is. There we go. There's the cap. Behind there, cutter key. This holds the nut from turning. So we'll take the needle nose. I'm going to bend the cutter key straight. So here's the top. So we'll bend these two edges to where it's straight as we can. And we'll slide that cutter key up and out. Just kind of work it back and forth, and then come back down here and work this back over to make it straight as you can, and just kind of work it back and forth till we get it up and out. We may have to take a punch and help it out, because it's probably been bent and reused, which then makes it difficult. But these ones that are tough to come out, they're the best ones, because they show you. I can show you the little tips and tricks. Let's see if we can get it this way without getting too much damage. There we go. Pull on one end and twist, and you can see that's been bent and then reused. So now next, this just wiggles off. You can see the nut there. Probably I'd go ahead and put on the glove about now. All right, now there's going to be a bearing here. There's the bearing and a washer. You can look there on the edge of the bearing to see if there's any pits or any other problems. Wipe it off with a rag. I won't reuse these, but if this is a junky bearing, it'd be nice to show you. You're looking for pits, galding, malformations, rough spots. Actually, it looks like that one's not too bad, even though it didn't have any grease on it. Use it for a spare, maybe. You always want to keep your races and your bearings in a match set, because they wear into each other. Now on the bottom side, you can feel for wear, grooving, anything else, and this spindle feels like it's good. Make sure the seal surface is okay, where the seal rides. And that all feels like it's going to be good. So that's good. We can use that spindle. We like that. I'll just throw the nut back on here so we don't lose it and we don't booger up the threads. Alright. Now the next thing is these little nuts right here. Get the 1/4 inch drive, we'll take those off. And then after that, this holds the top ball joint in place. It's a clamp. See that there? Now see this right here? That's eccentric shaped. That's part of your alignment. So you'll want to make note of where that is headed to put it back there after you place the ball joints to get it roughly lined up. And then of course taking it to alignment shop for the final touches. But you can get it good enough to drive safely down the road that way. Okay, got the plate, backing plate come off. Those 3 bolts, 1 bolt there, 1 bolt here, 1 bolt there. 3 bolts, it comes off. Now this is a metric, 15 millimeters. The other one was, I don't know what size metric, but my 1/4 inch 5/16 fit it. So we'll take this pinch bolt loose. We're going to take a punch, and we're going to punch a spot right there so we can find where that goes again. And then we'll take this bottom bolt off, and then we'll use, it takes brute force, this pickle fork will go in there like that, and we'll just beat the snot out of it till it breaks loose. May have to heat it up with a torch, we'll see. So that's the plan. And then after we have this off, we'll take our long extension here down there on that bolt, and then we'll be able to get this spring out of there and start taking the rest of it apart. Okay, that wasn't bad at all. I took the torch, I heated down through here, I heated on the threaded part of the ball joint, got it nice and hot, took the pickle fork up here, drove it on in, and it popped right out. So here's how it looks. And when you put it back together, you put we'll press in new ball joints. You put it up here, you thread this bolt on, you get it nice and snug, and you pinch this bolt back in. So we will take this thing out. We've already punch marked that, and then we'll work on getting the spring off. You can see this spring is definitely shot, and we've got those 4.0 liter springs that will be the right weight for the 302 that we're putting in there. Okay, so we warmed up the nut just a bit with the torch. That's 1 1/8" socket. Got the long extension, the impact. And we'll use a breaker bar. Now let me get after this. All right, there you have it. Heat is your friend. Come right off with enough heat. Got it, that nut cherry red. When we put it back on, we'll just use Loctite. But yeah, that thing was on there. So now we'll take, after it cools off, we'll take the metal part out and get that spring worked out and get this swing arm down. So all you have to do, stand on here, push that down, and that will just roll right back into the spring bracket up there. It sits on the plastic, it sits up in there like that, and that's the old spring that is shot. Okay, so this has 2 pieces. Got your bushing, got your steel hat, it goes on top of that bolt. That bolt right there, this bolt is what holds this arm on, and that controls front to back, and it's held back here on this cross member with bushings and a bolt behind there. So we'll take this arm off. You can see the bolt over there. We'll take that bolt out, we'll take the bolt off of here, we'll drop this whole arm out, and then we'll take it apart, clean it up, sandblast it, clean this stuff up here where the shock absorber bushing rides, and get ready to go back together. Okay, now it's out. Had to take and do a little bit of persuasion with a bar. Put the bar in behind here and wiggle this shaft over here. Got it popped out of here, and then I was able to slide it right out of there. And so the other side over here is going to be exactly the same thing. It'll be the same process. I did mark the passenger side right there with the letter stamp so we don't get the two sides mixed up. On the hubs, it's kind of a no-brainer because the suspension's on the front, and you can't get that backwards. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of that pulled apart. Hope that this is helping you. I'll show you how to press in the ball joints and put the bushings in, and we will go back together with that front end after we sandblast it and paint it, putting in polyurethane bushings. All right, thank you. Like, subscribe. I hope this is helping you guys out. Have a blessed day.